So how's it going, boss buddies? Now I know quite a few of you out there are big fans of nice, clean, fresh barbershop fragrances, so I thought I'd put together my top 5 for those. So I'm going to be back in just a second with my top 5 scents for barbershop fragrances. So welcome back, boss buddies. I hope you're all doing really well and I hope you've all had a fantastic week. Now, as usual, I'm Scott and I'm the Luxury Fragrance Boss and you're watching the Luxury Fragrance Boss channel. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. For those of you that have already subscribed and follow my channel, thank you very much for your support. While you're here as well, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you keep up to date with all my videos and anything new that I've got coming out. So this week, I thought I'd put together a video of my top 5 favorite barbershop fragrances. Now, these are not going to be nice, clean, fresh fragrances. They're going to leave you feeling sort of nice and sort of revitalized and ready for the day, but also keep you feeling sort of nice, clean and fresh. So they're going to be good with, obviously after a clean shave, otherwise with a nice sort of fresh pressed shirt and maybe a suit and tie. So I've put together a nice list of my top 5. First of all, I want to give an honourable mention though. So the first honourable mention I'm going to give to is Boadicea the Victorious, and this is Imperial. Now this one, in the notes here, you've got Angelica, Rosewood, you've got Lavender, which of course is nice and soothing, which you can find in a lot of barbershop fragrances. You've got Birch, Geranium, Rose, White Jasmine, you've got Freesia, Leather, Rock Rose, Indian Sandalwood, Patchouli, Cambodian Wood and Gaiac Wood. This one I think is such a beautiful sort of clean, classy, fresh smelling fragrance. This one is so perfectly matched to sort of definitely a sort of nice white fresh pressed shirt with a suit and tie. This one's perfect at home, perfectly going to be at home in the office. If you're looking sort of a beautiful sort of clean sort of smell, a nice classy smell, something. I mean, I think this is one's a very versatile fragrance as well, but it's definitely sort of one of those smooth, soothing, sort of fresh fragrances and smells very clean. It's one that's got quite a bit of power to it as well. One thing I am big on, as many of you know if you follow my channel, is I do like fragrances with great performance. So anything that I do recommend in any of my top 5s, it was always going to be having great performance. Otherwise, I wouldn't recommend it. Now, that as well goes with all my top 5s and top 10s. All these fragrances I think are worth worth the money that they're charging. Obviously, I only review niche fragrances. So they are higher priced fragrances, but I wouldn't recommend them if they weren't worth the money. So my honourable mention, first of all, goes to Boadicea the Victorious Imperial. Right, so into the top 5. Now, in number 5, I picked a beautiful, clean, fresh smelling fragrance. This one doesn't have the lavender in that you'd find in most barbershop fragrances, like I said earlier, but this one is such a perfectly well blended fragrance. It's also a very reasonably priced one, and the one I'm talking about is Cedre Atlas by Atelier Cologne. Now this one you're looking at around $135 for I think a 100ml bottle, but this one I think is just such an amazing clean smelling fragrance. The day that I wore this and I tested out this one, I actually went to the gym and a couple of my friends that I train with just loved the smell of this fragrance. They asked me what I was wearing because it was such a sort of beautiful clean smelling fragrance. It was very much perfect for a day at the gym. But like I say, because it is such a clean sort of smelling and beautiful sort of fresh, well blended fragrance, it's a little bit woody as well, obviously with cedarwood in there. But it's gonna smell fantastic if you're wearing like a suit and tie, or if you're off to work for the day and like I say, you're clean shaven. Now the notes in this one, in the top notes you're gonna find lemon, bergamot and blackcurrant bud. In the heart notes you've got Atlas cedarwood, which is just absolutely incredible in this scent. You've got the Egyptian jasmine and apricot. And then in the base you've got white amber, you've got Indian papyrus and Haitian vetiver. And they just make such a beautiful sort of clean smelling fragrance. If you haven't tried this one, like I say, it's definitely one of the more affordable ones that I talk about, but it really is an incredible fragrance from, I mean, Atelier Cologne. I really am impressed with a lot of their fragrances. I think they're definitely well worth more than what they're charging for their fragrances. I mean, like Vanille Intense, this one, there's a couple of others. My wife's also big fans of them as well. Sorry, a big fan of them. But they are incredible fragrances, and this has definitely been one of my favorites from the house that I've tried. And this one, again, makes obviously a very, very good barbershop fragrance. So in number 5, we've got Atelier Cologne's Cedre Atlas. So in at number 4, now I've got one of the cleanest smelling fragrances that I've got in my collection. It's probably one of the most cleanest smelling fragrances that I've ever smelled anywhere. The one I'm talking about is Creed Vetiver, sorry, Creed Original Vetiver. My wife is a big fan of this one. This is such a beautiful sort of clean smelling fragrance. It's so soapy. Absolutely, I mean, you got that soapy, you got sort of citrusy smell that you get with, I mean, citrus is quite a big thing in a lot of the Creed fragrances anyway. But this one, it's got such beautiful sort of soapy, sort of clean barbershop sort of smell to it. I mean, this is definitely the sort of smell similar to that you get in a lot of spas, especially sort of around the sort of the American regions. When you go into a sort of hotel lobby where they've got a spa sort of inside or just off the lobby, this is sort of definitely the kind of smell that you're going to get from that sort of drifts into the lobby. So it's I mean, it's such a beautiful sort of clean soapy smell as well. Now when it comes to picking out my 5 favourite barbershop fragrances, I was really sort of torn between this one and also Green Irish Tweed, which is also another clean sort of soapy smell. I think though for a barbershop one, this one's much more I think this one's much more along those lines rather than the Green Irish Tweed. As much as I love it, it is an amazing fragrance. I think the Original Vetiver definitely suits that sort of cleaner smell. I think it's a much more purer, cleaner smell. Now, the notes that you're going to find in this one, in the top notes, you've got ginger, mandarin, and Italian bergamot. In the heart, you've got the Haitian vetiver. You've got Mysore, sandalwood, and Florentine iris. In the base, you've got musk and ambergris. This one's, again, another top performer. This one goes on forever. As I said, my wife absolutely loves this one as well. My wife is a big fan of sort of the cleaner smells. So a lot of these I'm going to go through, my wife is huge fans of. In fact, one of them actually does belong to her, but we do share it. But I mean, number 4 definitely deserves to be Original Vetiver by Creed. So in at number 3, I picked one of the nicest, most sort of soothing fragrances there are out there. This is definitely mine and my wife's favourite from this house. This is a house that I discovered earlier this year. Again, similar to Atelier Cologne, one that I've been really impressed with for their price point. They've got outstanding performance out throughout most of the line. And there's so many beautiful fragrances. The house that I'm talking about is Histoires de Parfums. If you haven't had a chance, definitely pick up their discovery set. It's very affordable and there's so many fantastic fragrances in there. But my favourite one, and also my wife's favourite one, has definitely been This Is Not a Blue Bottle. This is the original This Is Not a Blue Bottle, so it's not the point, I think they do 0.1, 0.2 and 0.3 now. But this one is just such a beautiful sort of soothing fragrance. It's very much unisex, this is the one that I was talking about that my wife actually owns, but we do share it. I don't wear this one very often because I'm more into my sort of darker woody fragrances, but this one is a fantastic fragrance and I probably will wear it every now and then when I get the chance. I don't get a lot of chance to wear my own fragrances a lot of the time though, so I tend to go through those a bit more. But this one, I think it's just such an amazing blended fragrance. If you haven't tried this one, like I say, it's not just my favourite from the house, this is a lot of people's favourite from this house. And I know a lot of couples, so if you are in a couple, it's definitely one worth checking out because it is definitely one you can share. I know a lot of couples that own this and they sort of both wear it. This does smell very good on me. It does smell absolutely incredible on my wife though. So if you're looking for something that you can both wear and there's sort of a beautiful sort of clean, soothing smell, definitely this one's going to be up your street. Now in the top notes you've got Alderhydes and orange zest. In the heart notes you've got geranium and honey, which make it incredibly mellow and soft. And then in the base notes you've got musk, patchouli and amber. But it's so well blended and it makes such a, as I said, a beautiful sort of soothing and very clean fragrance. And it's one that you will want to keep smelling over and over again. I think it's the honey note that really makes this one. The honey note that just sits in those heart notes. But yeah, something that just keeps coming up, and I think with that, with the orange zest as well that sits on top, it's just it really is a beautiful fragrance, well worth checking out, especially if you're after a sort of a nice unisex fragrance that both of you can share. But yeah, this one definitely a winner out of the Histoires de Parfums collection. So, and like I said, if you haven't checked out their discovery set or any of these fragrances from this house, definitely grab that. Like I say, it's very affordable. So that's This Is Not a Blue Bottle by Histoires de Parfums. So into the top two, and now it's really hard sort of to choose a top spot between these two. The reason I put this one into number two, it is at the more expensive end, so it's not going to be reachable for absolutely everybody. I mean, this one isn't an X-Straight, and it's one that I did try very, very recently. I had tried it before, but sort of a couple of years ago now, and the house that this one comes from is Clive Christian. Now, 1872 Masculine is one of the most beautiful, sort of clean barbershop fragrances that you will ever smell. The performance on this one is absolutely outstanding, as you expect, for the price point that these do go for. I mean, some of you may have seen as well that I recently picked up the travel set. This one is actually part of this little collection here, which for the price points of these fragrances, this little travel set is well worth picking up. It's just under $300 or just under £200 in the UK, depending on where you're shopping. But it's well worth picking up because for the quality of the fragrances you're going to get inside there, I mean, X is my favourite, but you've got number one, which is one of the most expensive fragrances in the world. So if you want to get your hands on sort of an incredible collection, definitely look at that travel, the travel set. They do a masculine and a feminine, and they do sort of pairs as well. So you can sort of, there's a few different sort of options and stuff like that of picking up this. You can pick up the his and hers, I believe, as well. So, but this one, I mean, it's such a simple fragrance, but like I say, it is an X-Straight, so it's it is an X-Straight, so it is a little bit more powerful and it is a little bit more concentrated than the rest of these. But one thing I love with Clive Christian is just the quality of the fragrances, the quality of the ingredients, and it just stands out. They just smell so classy. Since I found out about these and what an exclusive brand they are, I just wanted to get my hands on that set. Since then, I'm happy to say that Clive Christian have actually been in touch with me, and now sending me a bunch of samples of their new collection as well, which I'm really looking forward to trying. But like I said, since I discovered Clive Christian, I just loved how luxury everything looked. I think I fell in love with them before I'd even smelled the fragrances, but the fragrances are incredible. Now, I do have my reviews of X and also number one coming up very, very soon on my channel. I haven't had a chance to do them yet, but I have reviewed this one so far on its own, and it is one of my, have to say it is my favourite barbershop fragrance. But I understand it's not going to be affordable for everybody, so that's why it's sitting in the number two spot, and I've picked one that's going to be available for everybody in the number one. Now, just going into the notes for this one, as I said, it is a very simple fragrance, but it's an X-Straight and it's incredibly classy smelling and very, very clean. Now, the notes in this one, you've got Mandarin, pepper, Petitgrain and Clary sage. And these are just so incredibly well blended together that this is definitely worth the price point that they ask for these. I mean, they're very, very special fragrances, and like I say, they're not available for, or they're not going to be affordable for everybody, but definitely if you do get a chance to go and try them, even if you just sniff them in a store, definitely get in there and try them out because they are wonderful smelling fragrances. And for those of you that are fans of niche, it's definitely a brand that should be checked out. Even if you can only get a couple of samples or something like that, it's a house well worth sort of looking at because of their quality. So in number two, we've got 1872 Masculine by Clive Christian. Right, so into the number one spot. Now, as I said, I've picked one that is available to pretty much everybody. This is from an amazing barbershop house. I mean, this is pretty much, these are the home of barbershop fragrances. The house I'm talking about is Penhaligons of London. The fragrance is obviously Endymion. Now, this is the original Endymion, not the concentrate. The concentrate is a little bit more intense and it's a little bit amped up as far as the ingredients go. This one is a little bit of a softer fragrance, but it is such a sort of, I think this one's a very, very perfect barbershop fragrance. Like I say, it is affordable for absolutely everybody. I mean, I do really love this fragrance. As I said, my favorite is 1872 when it comes to these lines, because I think probably because of the X-Straight in it, the overwhelming performance of it. But this one, just such a perfectly blended barbershop fragrance. Now, the notes that you've got in this one, in the top notes you've got Mandarin, Bergamot, Cardomom, Nutmeg and black pepper. In the heart notes you've got Vetiver, you've got that lavender, as I said, which is so dominant in so many barbershop fragrances. That's what gives you that sort of perfectly sort of soothing sensation, especially after a barbershop shave. Now, also in the heart you've got sage and amber, and in the base notes you've got the leather, musk and myrrh. And these, I think this is such a well blended fragrance and well rounded fragrance. It's going to give you that perfectly sort of fresh and soothing feeling at the same time. Everything that you would expect from a barbershop fragrance. Now, as I said, this one's not sort of one of the more powerful ones. It's not a skin scent as such, but it is a sort of softer fragrance. So you're looking probably 1 to 2 feet maximum projection, I'd say, for this one. A lot of the others that I've recommended in the top 5 are going to be a little bit stronger than this one. But for the smell of this one, for a sort of a beautiful blended and the perfection of what a barbershop smell should be is definitely Endymion by Penhaligons. Now, if you do get a chance to try the concentrate, it's a little bit more expensive, but I'd say it's definitely worth trying them both. They are a tiny bit, there's a tiny bit of difference between them. Like I say, it is a more intense version, but this one I think is perfection as far as sort of barbershop fragrances go, and it's also from the home of barbershop fragrances. Like I say, Penhaligons London, it was originally a barbershop, so that's where they actually sort of stem from. So in number 1, we've got Endymion by Penhaligons London. Now, as usual, please like, comment and subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts, also your top 5 barbershop fragrances as well. I'm always looking for recommendations, so please, please let me know. I know plenty of you out there, as I said, are big fans of sort of clean and fresh sort of barbershop fragrances. Like, you like those soapy smells and those sort of clean smells. So please, as I said, like, stick it in the comments below. Let me know your top 5s. Any that I haven't mentioned, please bring them to my attention. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well. You can find me at Luxury Fragrance Boss. That way you can keep up to date with any of my sort of any of my scents of the day, anything else that I've got going on, anything like that. As I said, don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you keep up to date with any videos that I'm releasing. Other than that, stay smelling fantastic. I look forward to seeing you very soon in my next review, and thank you so much for watching.